for deadly stabbing on Charlton Blue Line. Jeez. Is that a cruise? Additives in ultra-processed foods links to higher death risk in major study. No shit. Bunch of foreign chemicals, not even natural to food. It's learning about nutrition. Natural foods are going to have natural enzymes that your body, the enzymes of your body, naturally connect with and break down. And all this processed stuff is foreign stuff. Your body doesn't really know how to process. If they even contain enzymes, enzymes exist in like. Do enzymes exist in chemicals? Exist in chemicals. Enzymes do not exist in chemicals. Composed of proteins. Should I even trust this? ChatGPT. Everyone's trusting this stuff. I don't know how trustworthy it could be. Bunch of headlines. Do chemicals contain enzymes? Not quite. Let me break it down. Enzymes are themselves chemicals. Okay. Specifically, enzymes are proteins or sometimes RNA molecules that act as biological catalysts. So in that sense, enzymes are chemicals because everything that made of matter is a chemical. It's kind of trippy. Chemical reactions, atomic reactions, nucleus reactions on a cellular level. Chemicals do not contain enzymes unless we're talking about mixtures. For example, a pure chemical substance like sodium chloride or glucose does not contain enzymes. And I'm assuming because they don't contain enzymes and the enzymes in your body that process nutrients and everything your body just processes. Since it's a foreign substance, it just destroys the enzymes. Like bleach, I assume. Okay. But like I was saying, we were talking about what we were talking about earlier. I accidentally clicked out of it. Not cool. Lost my train of thought. But now, natural foods that you eat, the healthier the food, the more organic the food is. It's gonna have organic enzymes. Enzymes that your body knows how to process and recognizes. And of course, your body can develop new enzymes from new foods, a lot of processed foods. Pretty sure that's about how you get the addiction, right? Sugar addiction. Because enzymes play a big part in like breaking down sugars. And you got like corn syrup, you got like unnatural sugars, corn syrups, and other kind of like high fructose and other kinds of like sugars that are not natural. And your body probably just getting addicted and producing so many of those enzymes. So your body probably just gets overwhelmed with those foreign enzymes, those addictive ones, those chemicals. How do chemicals work? Uh, do addictive chemicals affect human body enzymes? That's probably right. Great question. Addictive chemicals like nicotine, alcohol, opioids, caffeine, cocaine, etc., often interact with the body's enzymes in several ways. Enzymes are responsible for breaking down, activating, or deactivating these substances. Alright, so we're on the right track. And sometimes the drugs themselves can interfere with how enzymes work. Here are the main effects: metabolism and breakdown. The liver has enzymes, mainly cytochrome P450 family, the metabolism addictive chemicals. That metabolizes addictive chemicals. So that's the main chemical to metabolize addictive chemicals in the liver. And it makes sense like alcohol affects the liver a lot of times. I think opioids like really damage the liver as well. Like everything they pretty much talked about. The opioids, I think nicotine. Nicotine affects your stomach a lot too. You get stomach ulcers and shit, like stomach cancer from like cigarettes. Everyone always thinks like, oh, lungs, but it affects your metabolism. Cigarettes, nicotine makes you go diarrhea. Like my friends who vape a lot tell me they get diarrhea like sometimes after hitting it, and I'm like, what the hell? Example: alcohol is broken down by alcohol dehydrogenase. It sounds like dehydrated, right? Dehydrogenase, HDH. Acetaldehyde, oxidate. If someone drinks heavily, ADH and related enzymes get overwhelmed, leading to toxic buildup. Alcohol poisoning. So the enzymes in your body can't process the overwhelming alcohol. Hangover symptoms. Oh, that's what hangovers are. You're poisoning yourself. Alcohol is a poison. It's literal. It's the yeast. It's the byproduct of yeast. It's the poop, the feces of yeast. It's what they poop out their waste. And there's actual such thing as like jankum. They call it jankum. In like certain poor countries, I think in Africa, this is where I heard about it from. They poop in bottles. I heard in prisons too, they do a lot of that. They poop in bottles and they let it ferment. And all that toxic buildup, those chemicals, they inhale. We got metabolism breakdown. Enzymes play a big part. In your DNA, especially, enzymes play a key role in sending information, creating information, new information, pretty much files with the RNA too and everything. It can destroy files, create files. The viruses. Our bodies are a lot like computers. It's funny, it's strange. Like our bodies are like the most advanced technology. The neurons, our electricity, our brains produce, sending signals to our whole bodies, to that whole system. Enzyme inhibition, blocking. Some of the addictive chemicals block enzymes from working properly. Cocaine blocks the enzyme that normally clears dopamine in the brain. Clears? Oh, so instead of clearing the waste, because pretty much dopamine becomes waste after a while, right? After you use it, I'm assuming there's waste byproducts of a lot of things your body produces, right? This leads to prolonged dopamine activity. Oh, it just blocks it from deleting it, which produces intense pleasure but also reinforces addiction. Hmm. Why is that? Reinforces addiction. So the cocaine blocks the enzymes that normally clear the dopamine. So instead of those enzymes going to the dopamine, they're locked by the cocaine, making it to where the dopamine is not made into the by waste, right? It's not gotten rid of. And I'm assuming once the cocaine wears off and those enzymes start going, well, your body does take time to produce all this. So I can see how overusing it and then your body pretty much being boosted up by the drug to make more and to allow more into your system. Enzyme induction, overreaction. Repeated drug use can make the body produce more of certain enzymes, which speeds up drug metabolism. And I was assuming the same thing for like addictive sugars and like foods, MSGs, I think. Certain enzymes, which speeds up the drug metabolism. And that's how you get a tolerance for the drug. And after a while, the amount your body's making of those enzymes just wants more to make more. You need the drug to make more. With chronic alcohol use, they're more. So with alcohol use, the liver produces more CYP. Similar to the one we read earlier, enzymes. So alcohol is broken down faster, needing more to feel the same effect. Damage to enzymes. Some chemicals directly damage enzymes or overwhelm their function. Like earlier with the cocaine, blocking it, overdoing it. Your system goes into an overdrive. Long-term alcohol use damages liver cells, reducing the enzyme activity and leading to cirrhosis. Opioids can directly alter enzymes involved in natural endocrine regulation, which contributes to dependence. Brain activity, chemistry, and enzymes. Addictive chemicals often hijack enzymes involved in neurotransmitter balance. For instance, nicotine stimulates enzymes that change dopamine signaling. Methamphetamine disrupts nanoamine oxidase, MAO, the enzyme that normally breaks down dopamine and serotonin. Different chemicals affect enzymes being metabolized by them. Enzymes play a big role in nutrients and everything. Everything your body metabolizes. Whether it's food, alcohol, drugs. Overusing natural body chemicals like dopamine, serotonin. Triggering them by like even sexual pleasure. Or like other crazy body pleasures. I don't know. People have weird ass kinks. And I'm assuming those enzymes go into your DNA. And that's how alcohol becomes alcoholism becomes a genetic addiction as well. You can pass it on, and depression. I'm sure enzymes play everything. In your stomach, your gut plays a huge role in your emotions. Let's look it up. Does the gut play a huge? It's like a new study that's like becoming popular and viral. In emotion, mood. Your gut biome or something? Yes, the gut plays a surprisingly big role in emotion and mood. I'm assuming enzymes play a big part because enzymes break down the nutrients and everything in the food. The enzymes aid in getting it to your bloodstream, sending the nutrition into your bloodstream, everything. Gut brain axis. The gut and brain are directly connected through vagus nerve. Vagus. Vagabunk? Vagus nerve and network of signals, hormones, immune message. This made me think of One Piece now. Dr. Vegapunk. It spells with Vega. And this one's Vagus. But I don't think that's a coincidence. His head's an apple. And of course we assume with like, was it Isaac Newton? When the apple fell on the guy's head. And then of course Adam and Eve, the apple of knowledge. Forbidden knowledge. Forbidden information, DNA, enzymes. On Newton, it was Isaac Newton. There's no actual evidence. But of course, we say with the apple with knowledge. Teachers, you give your teacher apples. But then we could take it further and say that nutrition, apples, good nutrition is an essential part of intelligence. Probably based, a lot of food helps with your memory, your eyesight, not just your intelligence, your bodily functions. Of course, we all know that. Everybody thinks of eating good food, you get a nice body. But nutrition plays a big role. Plays a big role in your intelligence, the information, the essential enzymes you need for your body. And some enzymes we need for our bodies cannot produce. Nutrients, right? And we need those foreign, and not necessarily foreign, because those enzymes, our body, organic food, our body naturally knows how to break them down. And then, of course, we've all seen like processed food takes longer to break down in your gut. But it's just cool with Dr. Vegapunk. Apples being associated with like knowledge. Vagus nerve. The gut and brain are directly connected through the vagus nerve. Dr. Vegapunk. The gut and the brain. The apple. Nutrition, right? The gut. And his head's the brain. Immune messengers and neurotransmitters. This two-way system means stress, anxiety, or sadness can upset digestion. Something I was learning about. There's something I've always thought of too. Like, I can always reflect in my childhood when I would get angry or very sad or just upset and anxious. I would feel my stomach get upset. Like, I would just feel nauseous and like upset. The gut produces many of the same chemical messengers that the brain uses. 90% of the body's serotonin, important for mood regulation, is made in the gut. 90% of the serotonin. Gut cells and microbes also influence dopamine and GABA. Microbes. which affect pleasure, motivation, and calmness. Gut microbiome. Trillions of bacteria live in gut. We know this, good bacteria. Probiotics, prebiotics, yogurts. A lot of yogurts containing bacteria, good for you. Containing good enzymes, right? I'm assuming. Let's look it up. Yes, yogurt does contain healthy enzymes. The fermentation process of yogurt production leads to development of various digestive enzymes, including lactase. Lactase is an enzyme. Helps break down lactose, making yogurt more digestible. Protease. Well, I'm learning about this in lipase. Yep. Breaks down fats. Uh, stress and inflammation, chronic stress, leaky gut, and alters gut bacteria. This can trigger inflammation, which is strongly tied to mood disorders. Diet and mood, foods that support health. Prebiotics, probiotics, fermented foods also support mental health. These pretty dope amino sisters.
The week before the first day of my first year of teaching, well, over a decade ago, was an exciting time. It was also stressful because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but a bit of a messy, unable to decorate my classroom kind of perfectionist. Actually, maybe I'm not a perfectionist. I wanted to make my classroom inviting and exciting, and I really wanted my students to walk in and think, this is amazing. I could never make it look like what I imagined up. But the most amazing thing did happen in the week to follow. I knew a colleague who had a friend who had a son who was going to college. Confusing. But anyway, that son could not take his pet snake to college with him. Some rule about dorms and snakes.
Ooh.
My colleague asked, would you like it? They said they can give you the cage and everything. It could be a classroom pet. I didn't even have to think about it, of course. So Spike, a Texas rat snake, became a classroom pet. An amazing, popular one at that. He was friendly, well, for a snake. He'd let you hold him and not bite. That year I was the only one in the science wing with a pet snake, and I'm pretty sure there were some people that wondered, what was the point? Well, I'm big on relevance, so anytime I would teach a biology concept, I found some way to work in Spike. Predation? Well, let's talk about Spike's appetite for rats. Mitosis? Let's talk about why Spike even needs to make more cells. One day in tutorials, a student asked me, since Spike's parents were bred in captivity, did you ever see Spike's parents? Do you think Spike's parents looked like him? You can't ask a question like that and not expect an answer. It was a great question because we were getting close to our heredity unit. Heredity is about how traits are passed down from parent to offspring. We've made a playlist of our videos that
Sure, they're gonna get
focus
into
on heredity,
enzymes.
including reproduction, how to track inheritance and pedigrees, how to solve genetic problems in Punnett squares, and understanding different Mendelian and
A lot of those charts confuse. Those were kind of easy because like HH, right? Dominant and the lesser one. Uppercase being dominant trait.
non-Mendelian inheritance. But you really can't delve into those and study heredity.
Pretty cool stuff. The gut. Nutrition. Affecting your DNA. What the hell? Oh, hell no. Indiana Jones shit.
charger.
You don't have salad or water? People who come.
When this guy built a staircase without bottom support, everyone thought it
DNA sequencing. I don't know. 5 levels of gene. Darwin's lab.
Dreaming is ridiculous. For reference, we know more about the abyss that is the Marianas Trench than we do about the mental landscapes of your dreams. We know more about the tiny remnants of DNA extinct creatures have.
What enzymes are released when we dream? I could take notes on this shit. We'll dive deep into this. That's a fascinating question. Well, we dream mostly during REM sleep. And that's only like, I heard only a few hours, not even that long. The brain and body are very active, but it's not that much that new enzymes are released, significantly for dreaming. Instead, enzymes are constantly at work behind the scenes, managing brain chemistry during sleep. But here's how it works. Neurotransmitter recycling enzymes. Assuming the body, because the body repairs itself when you sleep. That's the best time it repairs itself. You're completely still. You're not moving. You're not making the body produce chemicals, right? For all those actions, movements, food you're eating, and all that shit, right? The enzymes are constantly working behind the scenes, managing brain chemistry during the brain. Of course, because the brain needs to keep you alive, keeps everything else functioning. Dreaming depends heavily on neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, acetylcholine, norepinephrine. Geez, I can't even pronounce those. Enzymes regulate their levels while we sleep. Monoamine oxidase, MAO, breaks down dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine after they've been used. I'm assuming the one you've used all day, right? Breaking down everything you did, everything you witnessed. I'm onto something now. So, the MAO enzyme breaks down dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine after they've been used. So that's during your sleep. After they've been used, meaning all the dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine you've used during the day in all your activities. And those are enzymes. Dopamine, serotonin, everything. You're triggered by enzymes by whatever foreign things you're doing and stuff, right? So when you're sleeping, your body's breaking down those enzymes, that information, that DNA, right? And they say your dreams a lot of times have stuff to do with you see during your week, your day, your memories, right? Your activities you do. And so I can see how it's just your body breaking down those memories, those enzymes, you right? That information. And then because you're sleeping, your body's breaking it down. It's like, oh, it's gonna produce it as like you're replaying a bunch of that stuff. But of course your body's doing it at such a high rate, spontaneously at the same time, like multiple enzymes being broken down at once. Your dreams are just a mixture, an amalgamation of all that information being broken down and being processed. Acetylcholinesterase. I don't know how to say that. It's ACE breaks down acetylcholine, which is very active during REM sleep, linked to vivid dreaming. I kind of get the idea now of why we dream. Although certain dreams are just weird, but this makes a lot of logical sense. Dreams are just information being broken down in our bodies, the enzymes and everything, right? The dopamine, serotonin, all that information being produced is now being broken down, either stored or probably thrown away as waste. It's so crazy. It makes me think of It's so crazy how computers could get viruses like a human body. You know, they have brain like microchip, like, and there's now technology. There is technology that has like that has like electrical nervous systems pretty much. I forgot what they're called. I'll look it up right now. I'll ask ChatGPT too. As a nervous system. How do you spell that shit? Nervous system. Oopsie. Yes, there is technology that acts as a nervous system to the use of neurotechnologies. Neuromodulation technologies. These stimulate nervous strips. But I'm talking, don't computers have them? Is there neurotechnology in chips? We'll look it up. Energy repair. Of course, like I said, that body repairs itself. And that's how you gain muscle, grow muscle, right? Or fat. During sleep, the brain consumes a lot of energy enzymes. Detox and waste clearing enzymes. While you dream, the glimpse clears waste. Yeah, it clears that. Like I'm telling you. Probably a bunch of those memories you don't really care about. Proteins like hormone linked enzymes. Linked to sleep cycles. Influences melatonin, cholesterol balance. Is neurotechnology being used in microchips? Great question. Let's unpack it. Neuropathology, the study of how nervous systems give rise to natural behaviors like electronic circuits often designed to mimic brain functions. So they are designed to mimic brain functions? Neuromorphic engineering. Microchips. How neurotheology connects to microchips. Yes. Insights from neurothology are increasingly used in the design of neuromorphic chips and bio-inspired computing, vision processing, insects and mammals. Flies and locusts have very effective vision neurons for detecting motion, and avoiding obstacles. Engineers have mimicked these circuits in microchips for autonomous drones and robots. They can mimic the circuits of the neurons of the flies and locusts with technology for autonomous drones. What the fuck? I know, like, a lot of those fighter jets, a lot of those jets in the military and everything, they're designed after, like, birds of prey, like hawks and all that stuff. That's why a lot of them are called after hawks. Like birds, falcons, and shit. Auditory processing, bats, owls, crickets. Their ears, I'm assuming. Bats use echolocations. Sonar, hearing aids, and robotic sensors. Ants. I feel like an ant would be like the best hunter. They could smell food from so far and like prey, I bet. Chips like IMBs. Chips like the IMB, the IBMS, True North, or Intel's low heat are designed to mimic brain-like networks of neurons and synapses. How animals suffer. Brainy. Neurotechnologies, the next technology frontier. For millennia, the human brain has been a largely unexplored frontier relative to the whole human history. But this is human brains. I'm talking about like computers, AI. Yes, neurotechnology is being used in AI to enhance various applications. Ask ChatGPT, see if it gives us the same answer. Everyone's saying it's reliable. Yes, neurotechnology is deeply influencing AI. The whole field of artificial intelligence owes a lot to neuroscience and neurotech research. Here's how they connect. Nice! Neural networks inspired by the brain. AI's artificial neural networks are inspired by how neurons in the brain send signals. And these use like lipids or those little protein little cell thingies that walk. I remember I forgot what they were called. But those send the message is electricity. Well, simplified, the original idea of neuron synapses in AI came directly from neurotechnology studies in the 40s and 80s. Gee, it's been for a while. Microchips, they said microchips are directly to mimic biological neuro systems designs, computer interface. Neurotechnology like EEG headsets for real invasive electrodes and neural implants generate like hearing aids? Like implant hearing aids? Speech, paralyzed patients, even text. Neuralink, Synchron. Like Intel's low heat. That's the second time. IBM's. That's the second time. True North. Okay, they came up again. The mimic brain like signaling. Intel's low heat. Second generation neuromorphic research test chip. It is a second generation neuromorphic research test chip that utilizes a asynchronous SS and SNN spiking neutral network. Interface at learning high efficiency. So this is an implant? It's big as fuck. Is that real? Is it for computers? Computers. Is the Yes, Intel's low heat chip is designed for computers. So it's not an implant. It is an advanced neuromorphic chip developed by Intel Labs, aimed at mimicking brain-like processing for efficient machine learning applications. So crazy. They I don't want to say that. But our bodies are being so suppressed by the horrible food, environment, pollution, whatever you want to call it, affecting our bodies. They're so focused on the technology, they forget that our bodies are the most advanced technology. All the technology we have mimics natural life. The airplanes we have, designed after them. The boats we have, designed after, like, fish, birds of the water. I'm trying to think of other things. Cars, a lot of car designs. Sure, based off of, like, not a lot of planes, I know for a fact. And jets. And the computers, chips, technologies like that. Inspired by the human mind, brain, nervous systems, neuroscience. I'm quite positive cyborgs is where they want to go. Avatars, cyborgs, synthetic bodies, transferring consciousness, whatever it is. They're probably going to come out saying they know how to do it. They know how to harvest consciousness, make you immortal. Who knows? Some crazy shit they might come up with that. Or maybe create a new species of AI synthetic creatures. Pretty much become immortalized themselves. Have backup systems and everything. Backup bodies. Nah, we won't watch the video. We'll just go straight to the facts. We're going straight to the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever tunes into this. That Christian